Rise and shine, everyone. Thank you for joining us on air and streaming on the KARE 11 app here on this Wednesday as we get halfway through the week. Jason Hackett alongside Alicia Lewis. As you saw, we had a lot to talk about, including Chief O'Hara being out at the Minneapolis Police Department. I'm sure a lot of people waking up to be shocked to hear that news this morning.
Yeah, big news from overnight. Audrey Russo is digging into all the details and everything we know at this hour. But before we get to her, we do have to check that forecast, that summer forecast. Ben, the AC's been pumping in my house.
Yeah, but at least the heat has been a bit more tolerable with this latest stretch of 80-degree heat because the humidity has actually been rather low. So temps near 90 degrees actually feels a bit more bearable. We are tracking some isolated showers across far western Minnesota, mainly just some cloud cover for areas up towards, say, Fergus Falls and Alexandria and Wilmer, but otherwise it's a mostly dry start to the day. Live shot from Golden Valley. The sun is up. It's been up for, I believe, a half hour at least. And we're going to see a lot of sunshine today. Temperatures in the 70s by 8 o'clock, already near 80 by 10. And temps will be near 90 by this afternoon. Average high for today, for what it's worth, is 73 degrees. So another toasty day today. A spotty afternoon storm is possible, but the vast majority of us likely going to stay dry. And that summer-like weather continuing through the weekend. We'll talk about any additional rain chances in your 7-day coming up. But first, let's get a look at your traffic with Cece. Good morning.
Good morning. 6:02. Hope your Wednesday's off to a great start. Let's take a live look outside. We never go down to Mankato. This is a live look in Mankato. Very quiet down there as you make your way out the door. Not seeing any crashes to slow you down there either. Same thing here in the Twin Cities Metro as we zoom back up here. Traffic flow looks nice. Again, like I said about an hour ago, still no need to add extra time. That'll probably start in the next hour and a half or so. We will be talking about more construction projects happening. There are a lot of night projects that wrapped up not too long ago. So the new ones for today start in just a few minutes.
Cece, thank you. We'll check back in a little bit. We have to get that breaking news out of Minneapolis this morning. Police Chief Brian O'Hara is out of a job.
And Mayor Jacob Frey says he accepted O'Hara's resignation after allegations he interfered in an investigation. Audrey Russo is live outside of MPD headquarters with what the mayor is calling a breach of trust. Audrey.
Yeah, the original investigation began around this time last year, and the allegation was that now former Chief Brian O'Hara had a sexual relationship with at least one city employee. Now, the independent law firm investigating this actually didn't find enough evidence to substantiate that claim. So if you're wondering, well, where did the breach of trust come in? The firm did find that O'Hara deleted a city employee's contact off of his city-issued phone during the course of that probe, and that constituted an interference in the investigation. The firm also found that O'Hara shared information from the investigation with another city employee after he was specifically instructed not to. So Mayor Jacob Frey says he received all of these findings yesterday morning and by 4 p.m. had plans in place to reprimand the chief.
I informed the chief that I would be disciplining him up to and including discharge, and he resigned. I have accepted his resignation. This is not about being intolerant of mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, including me. But what I can't allow is a breach of trust.
Now, this move comes less than 3 weeks after Mayor Frey had renominated Chief O'Hara for another 4-year stint as police chief. Obviously, that is not happening now. So what comes next? Well, I've got more details on that coming up in about 30 minutes, but for now, I'll send things back to you.
Certainly there's going to be a lot to unpack here in the coming days and weeks. Audrey, thank you very much.
Now, O'Hara took over the Minneapolis Police Department back in November of 2022, coming from Newark, New Jersey, where he was deputy mayor and director of public safety. He was the first Minneapolis police chief to be appointed after the murder of George Floyd. The mayor at the time pointed to his 2 decades of law enforcement experience and his experience reforming another police department under federal scrutiny. Now, this story, of course, still developing, and we will learn so much more here in the coming days. So be sure to scan the QR code on your screen to download our KARE 11 app and watch for free.
Well, today, a fraud suspect who allegedly jumped from a 4th-story building trying to escape arrest will be in federal court. He was one of 15 indicted last week by the DOJ.
And Megan McPherson's at the live desk with more details. Good morning, Megan.
Good morning. So Mohammed Omar is set to be arraigned at 10 this morning. A plea is typically entered at these hearings. We'll be watching for that. We first told you about the $90 million in fraud charges announced by top federal officials late last week. That's also when investigators revealed Omar allegedly jumped from a fourth-story balcony to avoid arrest. Authorities playing this surveillance video that you see here during that news conference. In the video, you can actually see Omar appearing to limp past security cameras. He was later arrested at a Blaine home tied to one of his companies. A federal grand jury recently indicted Omar, accusing him of stealing millions from Minnesota's housing stabilization program. The indictment includes allegations that his company, North Home Healthcare, billed for 92 hours of services for one client who was already dead. And Omar and his business partner, Ibrahim Bashir Abdi, are charged with conspiracy to commit healthcare fraud, along with multiple counts for filing false claims. I'll have more on those allegations against both men coming up in 30 minutes. Back to you.
All right, Megan, thank you very much. Right now, we are following developments in another fraud case. A man accused of trying to get $210 million in tax refunds by filing fake returns, then buying a multi-million-dollar mansion. According to the indictment, Cesar Munir Wilson ended up fraudulently receiving $9 million from the IRS and helped another man receive $10 million. The house on Lake Cynthia by Prior Lake cost him $2.6 million. Court documents say Wilson considers himself a sovereign citizen who believes some laws don't apply to him. He was in court yesterday because prosecutors worry he is trying to help others in the sovereign citizen community with tax paperwork. Investigating fraud is a top priority here at KARE 11. You can watch our extensive reporting at kare11.com/fraud.
An update this morning, the man accused of hitting and killing a woman with his car and fleeing in Brooklyn Park last week made his first court appearance. A judge set Ryan Freeman's bail at $80,000 with conditions including drug testing and not driving. This is video from the crash scene 1 week ago. Court documents say Amaya Armstrong Walker got out of a car during an argument. That's when investigators say that Ryan Freeman hit her and kept driving. Freeman says that he was driving at the time but did not hit anything. His next court appearance is scheduled for July.
Well, this morning, a 6-year-old boy is back home safe after going missing for 6 hours. Dozens of law enforcement, family, and community members spent Tuesday searching for him. He was eventually found by his house under a bush in a reunion that was caught here on camera. Cameron's mom says he disappeared after asking her if it was time to get on the school bus. She and his grandmother say they are so grateful that he's safe.
I want to thank everybody that came out of their time to help us look for my grandson. It is a blessing, and I'm thank God that we have him in our arms at this moment.
An absolute blessing for sure. Roseville's police chief says she considered issuing an Amber Alert, but that requires specific criteria, including an abduction, which didn't appear to be the case in Cameron's disappearance.
So happy he was found.